I have a mission to perform. I need to kill 150 guys with the mortar. Let's make it happen. Oh, let me get on the whatchamacallit. Get back on my channel. I have a mission to do. I need to kill 150 people with the mortar. Hey, Spitfire Amidus, how are you today? So, weird stuff was happening in Russia. They tried to launch a cosmonaut and an astronaut. They tried to launch him into space towards the International Space Station, but the rocket failed. They're alive. The rocket has two stages, a first stage and a second stage. The second stage did not work, so they're like, okay, we're weightless now. We're not supposed to be weightless. We should be having G-forces. So they disconnected the capsule, and the capsule went down to the ground, landed on a couple of parachutes, and they're both alive. And well, they were able to walk away from the problem. But wow, man! I saw a picture, movies of it, and that was a wild ride. That combined with the fact that somebody sabotaged the space station itself by putting a drill in a segment. We think they sabotaged it. So one of the guys up in the space station wants to go home. Yeah, my day is okay. I was having some. I wasn't yesterday. I was wasn't really up to snuff. I wasn't really good. But yeah, I just realized things change, man. And yesterday I was kind of scared that I'd have to move house. I really like staying here. I don't like moving house, but it's like 99% sure that I can stay here, because I don't like to move house. I got an old cat, and I like to have things be more predictable and steady. So, no, I really don't want to move. I have a very nice house, and it's really good. So I cleaned up the entire house. That's why I'm a bit late on the broadcast. And right now I'm doing missions to get the alliance battles bonus cards. I need 150, maybe 170 of those. I'm gonna need about 340 focus fires, 170 tactical boots, and 170 munitions packs. But I'm well on my way. I need to do missions in order to get the bonus battle packs, and one of the missions is I gotta get 150 mortar kills. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm drinking Canis Pen Valley Peel Kvass. I remember Kvass. I'm living 10 years in my house in the village, and I didn't want to leave the village to go to the city. Yeah, usually a village is nicer. People are more friendly in the village, and you know everybody. So I grew up in a more like a city. Right now I live in the countryside where everything is nice and green, and it's also very pretty and nice. So, and it's really quiet. I don't like a lot of noise. Yeah, and people still say hello, man. In the city, people don't greet you anymore. They're all too busy running the rat race. Everything needs to be quick, 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 quick. I think I have to protect my mortar, most of all. Uh-oh, I got 3 of them coming out. What is happening? I assume you already checked my new base. I should check it as well. Is the engineer in a good position? Where's my engineer at? No, he's still up there. I don't want him up there. Oh yeah, that's probably the new feature where the game decides on its own how to manage my veterans. Yeah, strictly speaking, they're not my veterans. They are the game's veterans. They don't say hello in the city, as you don't see the same people, not like the village. You see the same people every day. Exactly. Especially, yeah, if you're young, people in the village, all of them, they kind of look after you a bit more. And young people in the city, because I grew up in the city, yeah, go outside and play and stop bothering me. So I agree. It's more, I don't know, if you live in a nice village and you got like I have a little stream here, like a little creek. I live nearby. We weren't really meant to live with more than 53 people. They found out that humans can only like really interact with 53 other people. Any more than 53, you start forgetting names and things they're not as personal. It's from the time that we used to live in packs as a tribe. You can handle 53 people and that's about it. I once had a job where I had to know everybody's name and how they are doing and what they're like. 150 people I had to take care of. That was crazy. Because I can't remember 150 people. No one can. Well, maybe someone can if you have a really good memory. So I had to make sure these 150 people were up to date on computers, because I used to fix computers. And they said to me, okay, you're so good at this, we want to make you a manager, a training coordinator. So I became a training coordinator. Wow, big mistake. I'm not really a good people person. What is he doing? Look at that. Get out of here. Get out of there. Okay, first mortar is gone. I'm going to have to let them go back to the base a bit more in order for this mortar to take over. Wave 10, here it comes. Let's have a quick look at how my Rocketeers are doing well. Yeah, nice, very nice. I'm really happy with this new base, because I have not yet unlocked the Bombardier, and after 3 years or so, I'm thinking I'm not ever going to unlock them. So I watched The Last Jedi for the second time on Netflix. Pretty good movie. A bit long, but really good. I thought it was better than, damn, what's that called again? Episode 7? The Force Awakens. That was a good movie, but The Last Jedi was better. Yoda was in it. I think Yoda is my ultimate favorite Jedi Knight. Let's see, do I have a favorite Sith? It's hard. I'd say, yeah, Anakin is such an easy pick. So if it wasn't for Anakin Skywalker, and Darth Vader, because he becomes Darth Vader, I would say Darth Maul. That's the guy with the double-edged lightsaber. Pretty sweet. And he had attitude. My first favorite Jedi is Yoda. After that, Obi-Wan, and then Ashoka. I think Luke Skywalker, I don't know. I don't like his attitude. He's always complaining. Great acting though. Mark Hamill, really good actor. Yeah, you notice my new base? This shit is so awesome. These kernels, they detect units from this range, and then these guys shoot all the way from over there. That's why I'm very confident that I'm going to get a better base. So this sniper was shooting through this rock. Pretty obvious that they will get hit. There you go. Come on, do it again. Shoot. So I had to make sure none of these structures over here, they were getting hit by my people, but now they all fly correctly. The Rocketeers were hitting my sniper towers, so I had to make it just right. I spent a lot of time getting it right. And I'm very pleased with the results. The only thing you can do to my base is a lot of snipers. They will take down the kernels. But I don't think people get snipers a lot. So I made sure that all of these Rocketeers shoot over my new buildings. Wave 13. And I got, yeah, this is like completely fixed now. They can get all the way to wave 20. Actually, I'm getting to wave 22. How sweet is that? Yesterday I was fixing the base, tweaking the base. I didn't want to broadcast it because it's kind of boring. And I got all the way to wave 22 because the waves are getting crushed over here before they even get to the base. They get more waves. These sharpshooters are a problem. And there's a couple snipers here. I want to take them out. Come on, don't avoid them. There you go. As soon as they get to this spot, they get hammered by 8 RPGs, sometimes 11 RPGs. Here you go. Those are the first RPGs. Those are the ones I get for free. And once these kernels see them, they put a mark on them and they get blasted. I think this should be the point where you notice. There you go. Welcome to the base. Some of them are still alive, but you get a second volley. Bang, bang, bang. Bang. So I think the only mission I can do again, I have to do today, is defeat 9 3-skull opponents, and I need to do 5 more. So that's something to do. I will progress to the other mission where I have to kill 150 with the mortar. That will come naturally by doing the defense waves. I think we're at 296 now. I checked out Olistark's channel. He is already at 500. Let's take care of this first. These are the support troops. Take those out and we'll be doing okay. Just make sure that surgeon doesn't come up. Got a bit of a lisp. Do it again. Let's see how they're doing. Let's see him do it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, they're not moving. Nothing to do. Oh, damn it. I wanted to watch them launch. Wave 16. Let's thin it out a bit. The quicker I can get the waves in, the more points I make. I might be in the top 50 again. That's interesting. I kind of want to see. Alright, I think I can get him to do it again. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on. Come on. Trigger him. Do it. No. Ah, I did it. Ah, man. Yeah, I think I can. Now I'm going to watch him trigger it. Come on. How sweet is that? Oh, sharpshooters. That's not good. Come on, Colonel. Uh-oh. His sandbag is busted. So he's coming out. One of my 3 units. Get him. They're totally overpowered, these Rocketeers. So that's sweet. This is good. Wait for them to cross this. And wait for it, wait for it, wait, wait, wait. Now. Come on. Come on, Mr. Rocket Man. Boom, boom. Yeah, they're pretty overpowered. Plus I got an engineer coming out. They fixed my barbed wire. Barbed wire is critical. That's why I don't put any missile strikes or fire bombs on this barbed wire. People don't take those tactical boots into account, so they don't deploy with them. Why I always deploy with them. So that's another 10 rockets coming to their way. 9 rockets. Yeah. 8 in the back, 1 at the front. Okay, let's see him deploy again. I can't get enough of this. The Colonel points them out, then the rockets engage from standoff range. Oh, there you go. Spectacular. I can't put any bombs on this, but I don't need to. So combined with these new walls, these walls that I put up left and right, we have to take like 2 or 3 focus fires to get through this. Ah, Colonel, don't leave. Where are you going? He's got the best headband. That's 10 healing per second. Alright, here comes the Colonel. I want to get these guys out. Get the surgeons. Get the medics. Go, Colonel. Don't let them heal. Damn it, they're still alive? Holy smokes, this is a heavy punch. I think we're gonna get to wave 22 again. Yeah, he's gone. Alright. No, he's still alive. Wow. Enemy missile. This is a no-fly zone, people. Yeah. Wave 21. Okay, I gotta let him pass. Maybe even hold back my own troops a bit. Are they gonna spawn? There they are. I'm gonna hold them back. Hold them back. I want these guys to come into the base as fast as possible, so I can get to wave 22. Kravens gassing his own troops. I'm such a bastard. War is ruthless. Do it again. Wave 22 coming up. This is where they should meet. Let's see what I'm gonna. Yeah. Got a good article coming up again. Wave 22, 10 seconds. Just punch it out, get rid of them. A little bit of extra. Come on, do it. So what's the difference here? 20,000 points? I don't know how to fix that. Okay, nearly all of the Pentagon's expensive new toys are embarrassingly easy to hack. The Pentagon's next-gen weapon systems, currently under development, are woefully vulnerable to cyber attacks, according to a report by the Accountability Office. The testers played the role of adversary, discovered mission-critical cyber vulnerabilities in nearly all weapon systems that were under development. Using relatively simple tools and techniques, testers were able to take control of systems and largely operate undetected, due in part to basic issues such as poor password management. You know what the biggest, the most used password is? Secret, S-E-C-R-E-T. Everybody uses that. Once I had a password, let me in. Let me in. Okay. And unencrypted communications, that'll do it as well. In one case, it took a two-person test team just 1 hour to gain initial access to a weapon system and 1 day to gain full control of the system they were testing. Some programs fared better than others. For example, one assessment found that the weapon system satisfactorily prevented unauthorized access by remote users, but not insiders and nearsiders. A nearsider is someone next to an insider, I guess. Once they gained initial access, test teams were often able to move throughout the system, escalating their privileges until they had taken full or partial control of the system. In one case, the test team took control of the operator's terminals. They could see in real time what the operators were seeing on their screens and could manipulate the system. They were able to disrupt the system and observe how the operators responded. Another test team reported that they caused a pop-up message to appear on users' terminals, instructing them to enter 2 quarters to continue operating. Wow, that's funny. Insert coin. Multiple test teams reported that they were able to copy, change, or delete system data, including one team that downloaded 100 gigabytes of data. Missions. 18. Wow, that's all? I'll do this naturally when I get to defense waves. Let's go back to the Nightmare Skull opponents, right? And they're bound to be bombardiers again. How much before I can move to a next campaign? I need to do one more and then move to a next campaign. So let's get a 2-scholar first. Iron stuff out. Both of them have bombardiers, right? This one might have bombardiers in a tent. This one probably has them as veterans, and those may have died, so this is my best spot. This is heavy, man, especially with that HQ squad coming out. Yep, same there. So 10,000. What is this guy? 10,000 and 10,000. Ah, Kravens, what are you gonna do? All right. Let's see how I'm gonna fare. If this is like a typical alliance battle for me, this is the kind of opponent I would face. So let's bring an alliance battle loadout. 2 focus fires. a rally flag in case it doesn't drop, and tactical boots. Together with steady, you need steady, you need steady. Is there any other steady I could possibly pick? Good question. Maybe. Why not? I can try. Put steady on him instead of fire rate. Yeah. I'll have to watch him. Try messing with this. It's not bad to put steady on him, but I don't want to risk it. Looking good. Moving out. Alright. I hope I don't lose. Yeah, it is annoying if they don't greet you. In your village there are 800 people and you remember all of them. Yeah, oh, good stuff, man. Yeah, stay in the village. Cities will be the first to fall when the zombie apocalypse comes. No, there's no zombies. That's just movie time. Any barrels? Yeah, some. I'm not worried. I can use this here instead of inside the base, because they probably already have a lot of anti-air there. There you go. And I'm good. 3 focus fires, but only 1 rally flag. That means I'm gonna have to punch through over here. Just so. Wow. Get him. Get him. I need to make sure I get the wave into my own favor. I need to make sure these guys stay inside the base so they cannot attack my truck. I'm gonna have to push a little more. 2 rally flags. That's excellent. Now we can make a second move. 9 minutes to go. I'm thinking I want to wait a bit. Not too long though. If I don't get a nice drop in from this one right now, I'm gonna start putting units in. Okay, no drop in. Let's start bringing them in. Come on, faster, 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 please. Come on, come on, come on. This is why I go spend like crazy. 31. Gotta start bringing him in right now. Come on, over here, please. Wait for the flag to drop. Yeah, that's okay. I don't worry here. This is what I want to do first. Get them to fall back. Everybody over here, please. Distract them. Have them punch all the way over here. Distract them again. Now start looking for the biggest threat. Look for a second. Look for the threat. And I think I'm going to defeat this guy. Biggest threat is here. That's just a distraction, they'll get it. Biggest threat is here. Bombardier, get him. Can do the airstrike. Biggest threat. this one. Alright, man. Finally getting a good... I'm getting good at this, man. Here's a 3 scholar that's been defeated. Hey, welcome to the show, bro. You can drop a comment on my YouTube. I'll give you a shout out. They'll be fine. They'll make it. Now, in order to get the maximum XP out of the unit survived column, I'm going to bring in my veterans. Did I lose anything? Pick up everything? Ah, right. Just make sure I got all of that for maximum XP. I'm about to hit level 53. Not Odistek, Raba, or Bobo, but me. I like to rhyme. I'm a pretty good rapper as well. I get a lot of hate, man. A lot of people hate me because they can't do what I can. That's what I gotta... That's how I gotta manage that. I even got death threats. Fucking idiots. I never call any... If I want to hurt somebody, I'm gonna go on and call him and warn him. That's really stupid. So, they stole 100 gigabytes of data from defense weapons. Let me just get on, because the cyber, they're very... okay, excellent. 301. I need 150 kills with the mortar. My base is just fine. I can read this article and get my missions on. I have to do this defense wave because I need the alliance battles, bonus battles. Let's see what they're trying to throw at me. That's not a big deal. So, despite years of repeated warnings, cybersecurity surrounding weapon systems has been surprisingly ignored. In 1991, the National Research Council reported, as computer systems become more prevalent, sophisticated, embedded in physical processes, and interconnected, society becomes more vulnerable to poor system designs, accidents that disable systems, and attacks on computer systems. Without more responsible designs and use, system disruptions will increase with harmful consequences for society. A good example of this is that in Germany we have a lot of switch boxes. Just that's kind of a box that it's a generic box that helps you regulate systems, like for instance a power system. These boxes are very easy to hack, and there are a lot of tools out there. If you look close enough. So for instance, people like Anonymous, they use these kinds of tools, and the American cyber divisions, they use these tools, and they have a vested interest in making sure that the computer manufacturers don't see that there's a problem, so the computer manufacturers would fix the problem, because the CIA and the NSA also use these tools. So they're like, okay, let's not tell anybody that we have these problems with these systems, because otherwise they'll fix it and we can't exploit these problems. The problem is, especially Russia and China, I like to say dos vidania to my Russian friends, and ni hao to my Chinese friends. You're all lovely people, and I understand that you have to protect your country. Yeah, but they are in the power grid. They're taking control of these, I think the brand is Siemens. They're like German controller boxes that fix, that regulate power. And most of those are infected. And a lot of these Cisco routers are also infected. And we're not fixing them because, yeah, we also want to exploit these vulnerabilities. So if a war breaks out, the first thing that'll happen is that every country will try to take out the power. That's why we need more cybersecurity. The warnings began in 1996 when the agency warned that the internet could provide enemies with a cheap and easy method to cause catastrophic damage to connected systems. In 2013, the Defense Science Board warned that in today's world of hyperconnectivity and automation, any device with electronic processing storage or software is a potential attack point, and every system is a potential victim, including our own weapon systems. Perhaps worst of all, they claim that despite documented instances of mission-critical cyber vulnerabilities, Pentagon officials who met with the agency testers brushed off their concerns, insisting that the systems were secure, and discounted some test results as unrealistic. Of course they would do that, because if they were to escalate it to a next level, say go to their boss, they'd have to, the boss would then ask them, why didn't you fix this? Why did you let this go for another couple of years? They would lose their jobs, and that's why they do not escalate it through the proper channels. I've seen this many times in the corporate world. I had a corporate job, and problems do not get addressed because that would be a weakness. They would have to go to their boss and say, I'm not doing my job right, so they hide it. It looks grim unless they see this as a wake-up call and start taking action in a serious manner. Answering questions in a podcast. Hey, the King Kravens podcast, you're listening to it right now. I'm Kravens. The guy said that one of the reasons these new computerized weapon systems are so vulnerable to hack is because until recently the Department of Defense didn't prioritize cyber as part of the development process. So they would develop these weapons, and then they would maybe afterwards they would think, okay, maybe, what are we going to do about cyber attacks? Yeah. I love my new base. Colonels and Rocketeers. So only now are the departments of defense realizing that they made a mistake. But if they don't report the mistake to the politicians, or even if they do, the politicians are going to be, no, I have to hide this because I need to be re-elected. And if I admit that this went wrong, because they are responsible, at least they say they are, they wouldn't get re-elected, so they hide it. One way of instituting better testing procedures is getting cyber security as a focus during the development. But despite this, they warn that if the Department of Defense doesn't act on its own findings to patch the vulnerabilities its employees discover in their own software, then all their internal testing procedures are useless. So again, the politicians are making sure that nobody knows about these problems because they need to get re-elected. The answer would be that you can be a politician for 5 years and no longer. And the actual problem is that the companies, they go to the politicians and they say, hey, make these favorable decisions for me, like I want to pollute the environment, or I don't want to pay a lot of taxes, and then after you're a politician, I'll give you a nice job. And this is why all these politicians end up in really nice jobs where they only have to show up and they make a lot of money. And that's, my friend, is where corruption comes from. And in the meantime, they have to hide the problems in the weapon systems because they need to get re-elected. If you say you can be a politician, but only for the term that you are in, and you cannot serve in a corporate job for after that for another 10 years, then the politicians will probably start making the right decisions. So yeah, I'm pretty well versed in all of this. So trust me on this. The agency report goes on to call out the Department of Defense for their shoddy, that's bad response to the vulnerabilities. For example, one test report indicated that one of 20 cyber vulnerabilities identified had been corrected. The test team exploited the same vulnerabilities to gain control of the system. When asked why vulnerabilities had not been addressed, program officials said they had identified a solution, but for some reason it had not been implemented. They attributed it to contractor error. So they take out like a business I used to work for, and then they blame my business, where I used to work for the problem. But the problem is they're scared. They don't want to. They want to hide the problem because they want to get reelected and then get that nice job. Because if they don't get reelected, they cannot be corrupt for the companies, and they won't get a nice job after they stop being a politician. There's also a culture right now at the Department of Defense where we feel like the extent of the problem isn't really appreciated at the program level. The Department of Defense has a lot of work ahead of it to overcome some cultural issues. Death from above. While the agency doesn't specify the weapon system involved out of national security concerns, they did say that the systems are heavily computerized and many of them network together, making them attractive targets for enemies after they are deployed in the field. Nearly every conceivable opponent in the Department of Defense is networked. Oh, that's a cool story. It's a book I gotta read called Ghost Fleet. It's these old ships that don't have computers yet, and they put them in mothballs. They kind of put them somewhere just in case. And suppose it's like a cyber attack where China or Russia attacks the West, and they go after our networked systems, then you have to get these old ships back into service because all the new ships are useless. A really cool example of that is Battlestar Galactica. They had the old show in the 1980s, and they have a new show. In 2003, they started a new Battlestar Galactica, and that's where they have to get that Battlestar, the Galactica, back into service because all of the new ships were destroyed because they have computer networks on them. Really good show, excellent show. Cannot recommend it highly enough. Battlestar Galactica. I'm really a science fiction dude. I don't like dragons and swords and knights and princesses. I like lasers and robots and light swords and that stuff. You have to make a choice. Either you're a fantasy guy or a sci-fi guy. That's why I don't like the categories on Netflix where you have fantasy and science fiction in the same category. I disagree. Shouldn't be done. Let's not blow that up. Don't blow up my barbed wire. I'm only halfway in here. So every component in our defense is networked. Weapon systems connected to the networks are sometimes to external networks such as those defense contractors. They're vulnerable. Technology systems, logistics, personnel and other business-related systems sometimes connect to the same networks as weapon systems. Wow, you should keep those separate. Furthermore, some weapon systems may not connect directly to a network, but connect to other systems, such as electrical systems, that may connect directly to the public internet. So if you know where to go, I could go to like a weapon system and hack it from the internet. So we wonder how vulnerable China or Russia's next-gen weapon systems are. Great article. I love this kind of article. So we had a really cool Falcon 9 launch a couple of days ago, where it was the first time they landed it in California. That's a pretty sweet sight. It's the kind of thing I would dream about the future would be, where you launch a rocket and then you land the rocket back on the ground. That was good. Unfortunately, We have some problems with the International Space Station. These are threefold. Number one, there's too much junk in space. There's probably about, if I remember correctly, 300,000 small objects and 15,000 or 1,500, I'm not sure, big objects like spent second stages, and these 300,000 small objects are like paint. They paint the rockets and then the paint comes off because of the sun, and that's not a big deal, you'd say. That's just a little fleck of paint, but it's traveling at 27,000 kilometers an hour. So that's where through the kinetic energy these paint chips can punch through a wall in the International Space Station. Is what we think happened a month ago. There was a leak in the International Space Station, and now I don't know if that's conspiracy, but now they say somebody drilled a hole into the space station, which would indicate to me that somebody wants to leave. Somebody doesn't want to. Somebody got bored at their job, or they're being bullied in space. That's not good. I mean, if you're being bullied or you don't like your job, you can always leave. But you can't leave in space. So they think somebody drilled a hole into the International Space Station. That's bad news. And the third problem is we tried to launch 2 more cosmonauts, a cosmonaut and an astronaut, to the International Space Station, maybe to relieve the one guy that doesn't want to be there anymore. And the second stage booster failed. So they had a lot of G-force, like over 10 Gs of acceleration. First stage cut off, and the second stage did not ignite. They had a booster failure in the second stage, which means that they started free fall. They started being weightless too quickly. So they noticed that, and they were like, okay, let's not go to the space station, let's just disconnect the Soyuz model. And they made a safe re-entry with the parachutes. But yo, you launch yourself like 50 kilometers into space, 30 miles, and then the rocket doesn't work, and you have to free fall, achieve terminal velocity before the parachutes can be deployed. That's a hell of a job, man. I'm glad they're alive and well. 1 out of 30 astronauts that we ever launched into space has died. They're heroes, all of them. Because we need to get to Mars, people. I want to get to Mars. I'm not going there, though. There's like 2,000 people that have volunteered to go to Mars, even if it's a one-way trip. Humans have an amazing drive and curiosity to explore. So I watched Joe Rogan's stand-up. He also has a podcast. I love the Joe Rogan podcast. He's so awesome. I want to be like Joe Rogan. And he noticed, like, 300 years ago, which is only 3 people ago, we live to be 100 now. So technically 3 people ago we were still using sailboats to cross the ocean, and we had to rely upon a guy. There were no computers or anything, no GPS. They just said, okay, here's a guy, he made a picture, a drawing of this continent, let's go there. And they used wooden boats with sails on them, drift across the ocean to find new land. 3 people ago. Amazing. Let's see, what was the point? I had another point here. Technology, civilization. Okay. I'm drawing a blank right now. I had another point, I'm not sure what it was. So, I lost 4 kernels. Come on, do it again. And I should have gotten well on my way in the next mission. Ooh, Flambeau. I guess you won't be surprised to hear me say that the base will hold. Massive death. Oh, that bunker's gonna fall. Nope, it's getting fixed. Haha. So yeah, I kind of still like the guns up. Pretty cool game. It's a free strategy game. If you have a Steam account, you can get it. If you have an Xbox One, you can get it. If you have a PlayStation 4, you can get it. It's not necessarily a free game, but it's easier if you put some money in case you really want to win. What I'm trying to put out here is that I never spend any money on this game. I just spend a lot of time on this game, and I can still get to #1 with my alliance called the Big Red One. They're pretty good. They promote loyalty. If you're a good communicator, they won't kick you. And I'm on my road to #1. I want to help them. Many of the people there probably put some money in, but I want to prove to you that it can be done without paying any money. Let's see. So the stock market is in the tank. That's not good. We have John Lennon. Nobody remembers him. Let's see if I can get a new headline. What is the latest news? Gold soars above 1200. Yeah, because nobody wants to buy into the companies anymore. Everybody's trying to buy gold. The only thing that's really worth something, I guess. Yeah, so the Saudi Arabians killed a guy. Pretty sure they did. And we should sanction them. We should say to them, don't do that anymore, because they killed a guy on in the Saudi embassy in Turkey. So now those two countries are having problems. And we should stop giving them weapons to fight the war in Yemen. They're fighting a war in their southern province, because it's they have a kind of a different interpretation of Islam. And we're supposed to now stop sending them the weapons, but the president says, not my president, but President Trump says, blocking the Saudi arms sales would be hurting us. How is that hurting you? I don't know. I guess there's a big problem with the American money. The dollar is kind of inflated. Okay, conservative Facebook employee who wrote memo on intolerant liberals quits. Goldman explains. Stocks retreat, blah blah blah. Missions, how far did I get? Only 22? I was at 18. Why did that not add up? Because I did 5. I should have gotten 5 here. That's a sound of a jet outside. Sounds like a low-flying passenger plane. What can I do? Well, let's go do some war. See if I can attack a 3-scholar. All right, 1.1 million. Very good. 9,000 Bombardier. 7,000 with a Bombardier. All right. If I lose, I have to quit. Bring some money. Glitchy game. I really shouldn't do this, but I shouldn't even be stingy. I mean, 170 focus fires. I'll get some more. This is what I'm worried about. Tactical boots. But these combined with the steady perks on him, and him should help against these bombardiers. Oh, Yoma. Hey, I didn't check fast enough. Supposed to give you a shout out. My bad. I didn't get the notification, or I didn't pay attention. Sorry. Let's bring in some grunts. Are there any barrels? No, no barrels. Sergeant and riot officer. Bring him in. If I bring these in quickly, I will have 42 and then have enough room just in time to bring in 2 more. I want to bring him in first. No. $44. Maybe I can get another riot officer in there. Yep. Right on, get him. Get that sniper tower. Alright, I guess I have to do it. Here's your first bombardier. Do I have to rush this base? Probably. Probably. But it's never a good idea to rush. I have 8.5 minutes to defeat this base. And my biggest problem is I don't have the patience. But I don't want to waste any of these special cards. I have to win. If I don't win, I'll go eat something. Maybe come back later. Maybe play some Battlefield. Maybe play some Fortnite. Maybe play some Mass Effect or Destiny. I should get into Mass Effect. Really nice sci-fi adventure. Yeah, right. I'm gonna have to start making decisions here. Let's hold back a bit. Give me some time to think. There's no need to rush anymore. He already has all of his tents fixed. All of these are gone. Let's think this through. Punch once, twice. Okay. Come on. Get him done, get him done, get him done. What's he shooting at? Okay. Do it now. Usually I would put in the veterans, but I'm not getting the right veterans right now. I'll go to an offensive loadout once I start with the alliance battles. This is enough. Put them right here. Now destroy those coming out of the base. But don't let them move too fast. Now, get here. Ah! They went straight past that. Pretty sweet. Wait for the flag to drop. Now punch all the way here. Now it should automatically go to the shortest route, which is now below. And I can use these two decoys. Wait, wait. Now. Finally getting good at this game. How many anti-air? Death from above. Yeah. Good stuff. Excellent. Any pickups? We're good. Great, man. All right, sweet dreams. So I'm getting a bit of the guns up fatigue. I am gonna let it run back to the home screen. No, I don't really need that. Either way, I really appreciate the viewership. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you on the flip side. Hey, Juglu. Thanks, man. I'm gonna go eat something, and I'll be streaming again in maybe an hour. I would like for us to get some kind of a point where you and your buddies are going to be online, so I can have you in for an interview and let you recruit for the Jug Brothers. And in the meanwhile, I'm kind of tired. I have some guns up fatigue. I'm going to have to back out. This one is too slow. I should skip it. I have the money. I skip it. I don't care about that. Repair 5,000 damage dealt to the transport truck. That one's even worse. You're welcome. Guys, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.